Anyway, I'm just like bird or whatever here. Kind of been hanging out, dude. It's just me and this soul, if you will. Maybe it's a lost soul, or maybe it's one that's right about to leave to the side. And we didn't see, it was, the behind the scenes. And it was the soul that was struggling, but notwithstanding, with pride and was struggling to get to where it is. I had to like walk down this hill and was like stumbling and fumbling like Adam Sandler trying to get his phone with all the keys. Something like a broken foot. And sometimes you gotta take a risk. I'm like, let's see if this soul is bird let me approach it. I approach slowly. I told you about the before the storm and after the storm. These creatures, these souls, if you will, are so bright, so intelligent. Well, I feel like probably not gonna let me get much closer. I can try. Just like a zoom out. Show you the beautiful lake around. The water is so high. Like the water is so high right now. It's been raining. It's been pouring for days, and it stops, dude. I was outside, and the heaviest of the rain, the lightest of rain. I guess I can share a story about Anthony. I tell a story about Anthony, and maybe it was like when I first learned about the difference of perspective. Anthony called me one day, man. It was the summer, and he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "I'm trying to get this flag football game going. What do you think?" And mind you, we're on our house phones because it's 2008 or 2007 or whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I want to get this flag football game going, dude." And I called my uncles and Casey or whoever in the neighborhood. I'm like, all right, man. I was like, but it's, I'm outside on my porch and you can hear the rain, you can hear the storm, you can hear the thunder. I was like, Anthony, dude, I was like, yeah, man. I was like, down for anything, but I was like, dude, it's pouring down rain right now. I was like, it couldn't be raining any harder, and he just didn't believe me. And I was on my parents' corded house phone out on my porch telling him, I was like, Anthony, dude, I was like, listen. I was like, it's pouring down rain. And I wasn't asking him to listen to me, I was asking him to listen to the rain. Because I was holding the phone. We didn't have FaceTime. The younger crowd watching. I was holding this phone in there just trying to pick up the audio of the pouring down rain. Like I'm trying to paint a picture because it's not the state of the setting I'm in right now. It's raining, but it ain't pouring. They say when it rains, it pours, but not always. Sometimes it just rains. And sometimes it drizzles, whatever. But anyway, Anthony, I was like, dude, it's pouring down rain. I was like, dude, I don't know. I don't know about today. I was like, dude, the yard's soaked. And he's like, oh, man, no, we're just going to get this game going. And eventually, I was like, I didn't get it. I didn't get it because I couldn't see his perspective. I couldn't see the person on the other side of the phone. And I just thought about it, and I was like, all right, dude, I was like, for whatever reason, this person that cares about me called me today, and he's got something he wants to do, and it might not make sense to me, but for whatever reason, it was important to him. I was like, all right, dude, just give me like 20 minutes. I was like, let me wait out the rain, and I'll be down there, dude. I kind of like laughed, and I kind of just waited, and I was waiting, and dude, the rain was not letting up, so I was like, all right, I gotta head into the storm. Which we're not doing now. I've headed into the storm 1,000 times before, but so I head into the storm. Mind you, it was the summer, so it wasn't even hot out, dude. It was like one of those days. It's not even cold, but it's just pouring down rain. And it's one of those days you just gotta get to your car in the driveway, man. You're like, fuck, I'm gonna get soaked. My shoes, their shoes and coats, whatever, dude. Even if your shoes get ruined, you can buy some new shoes. But I was like, all right, man, I'm just gonna make this walk. And mind you, it was like 3 blocks, not even 3 city blocks. I mean, like 3 neighborhood blocks. It was like 3-minute walk. I was like preparing for this walk, dude. And I started walking, man. Had my head down because I'm visually impaired, and light hurts my eyes. So I was walking, my head down. People thought I was depressed. Like, nah, dude, I just can't see. I had to look at my feet, put all my sunglasses on just to walk around during the day, even if it's not sunny out. But whatever. And I was just like, you're just going through it, dude. You're battling. Because in my mind, I was like 13 or something, so everything was I'm dramatic. They say I'm dramatic, but, you got the Sardinian blood in you, so, But, yeah, he just started walking. He'd walk like a block and a half. He's like halfway there, dude. And your mind's just wandering. Your mind's wandering because you don't want to feel the pain. You don't want to feel the pain, but is it really pain? It's just rain. And rain's just water. Water can hurt if you let it hurt you. You can drown in the water. But it doesn't mean you're afraid of the water. You need the water to live. But I was like halfway there. I was just walking on. Suddenly the rain just stopped. And I kind of snapped out of it. I was like, so my mind was wandering, and which is fine. It's fine to let your mind wander sometimes. Maybe if you're not actually walking in traffic, but. And I was like, alright. And I kind of snapped. I was like, what's on the rain? I looked behind me and it was storming. I looked ahead of me and it was sunny sky. I just didn't get it. Didn't get it because what Anthony was telling me on the phone was correct. He said, it's not even pouring. He's like, it's not even raining. What are you talking about? He's like, my grass is dry. And because it didn't matter the physical distance. I live 3-minute walk from my house, and perhaps for that day, whatever day it was very different perspectives, but I listened to what he was saying and I believed him. And I believed in what he wanted to do that day, which is, if I was 13, he was like 11. He just wanted to play flag football in his yard. And if I didn't believe him, it would have never happened. And that was the day it became Showtime. It was Showtime. Showtime was the chubby kid. Ooh, the chubby kid, the chubby autistic kid that could never catch the football because he had one hand. Looked like he had one hand in his ass because he's trying to hold up his pants, getting that belt on. He's trying to catch the football with the other hand. Almost never caught it. Occasionally I did. That's why they call it Showtime. And Sideshow Bob doing the back of the neighborhood, comes rolling by, riding his bike backwards with no hands or whatever. I was like, fuck, dude, I don't want to do that. I tried, and I had to learn how to rewire my brain, how to ride my bike backwards in the rain with no hands or whatever. I did that because of Sideshow Bob, and I was inspired by him that day. If I never listened to Anthony that day about how he wanted to play flag football and really how it just wasn't raining. You think you're in the storm. You think you're in the eye of the storm, whether it's you're delivering pizzas for this company that doesn't care about you, and you almost get struck by lightning, or at least in your own mind, this guy that worked there wasn't me. Or, but the storm isn't always as bad as it seems. But the storm is going to come. But all you can do is try to be prepared. But you can't be too prepared. You can never be 100%. Like Dr. Hussein said, you can never be at 0. You can never get to 100. And really, at the time, he was talking to us about our finances. We were 19. We were trying to figure out how to manage our, a little bit of money we had. It was a valuable lesson at the time, but you can apply it to many other ways. And you do it for preparation. You have to do this public speaking. You have to go in front of 400 people on behalf of whatever university. And you have to speak publicly in a language that isn't even your native tongue, and you're nervous or whatever, but you did it. You did it because you went in front of your 8th grade English class and you spoke to them about schizophrenia, and you gave them a very heart-touching story about your mother and the struggles she went through, and just the disease itself. And same with the disease, it's something we just don't understand. And you went in front of your 5th grade class and you talked to them. They tell us scary stories. Halloween, 5th grade. 2005, and the assignment was, tell a scary story. Dude, we're all 11 years old. We go alphabetically, who's first in the class. Like, alright, dude, I'll go first. I was like, I got a story for you. I was pronounced dead fucking 2 months ago. Man, I didn't say it like that because I was 11. But you know what? That's why, they say life's a movie, but it ain't. The movie is art, and it's a reflection of the story of real life. And these movies, these independent films, are based on real stories. But people saw all the real stories, and people that were there in that 5th grade class today, in that 8th grade class, and whatever class I was in college. And that's what it is. You gain experience, you learn, and I had two entrepreneurship professors, and one of them got it, and one of them didn't. And they're both bright men. I learned so much from them. But Dr. Hussein, he's like, you gotta start a business. You gotta start a business. Like one day I was like, listen, Dr. Hussein, I've learned so much in all these classes, and pleasure being a student. I was like, but Dr. Hussein, I have a lot more to learn. I was like, dude, I'm 19 years old. I was like, I don't know what business I want to start yet. But I knew it wasn't about the money, dude. I mean, you gotta make some money. And I say money is the root of all evil. It's not greed. Greed is the root of all evil. Money is just something we place value on, and only you can place value. Well, what's it worth to you? What are you willing to pay for whatever product? And you can listen to whoever's trying to sell it to you, but perhaps my calling in life is to open up a funeral home. It's perhaps the ultimate form of hospitality, because you really have to know the client. And the client could be whoever, whether it's the fallen, the deceased. There's also those mourning. And those are mourning. It's not, you start with the family, dude. And you like all of them, from the mother to the brother to the sister to the father to the great grandparents to the cousins to the whatever, to the friends to even the acquaintances, even the people someone you haven't talked to in 20 years, or someone that old coworker or whatever. You never really know it all. And all you do is try to prepare yourself. When you accept that everyone that comes in your life is going to be dead one day, and understand it's just their body. Their body's going to die. Their body's going to decompose. You never have to do anything. Grieve in your own way. You could say, the kindergarten me. You could say the kindergarten me gave this cat a funeral. It wasn't the first pet death in the family, dude. It was like once you have kids in your life, and your 5-year-old's bawling his eyes out because he found the cat dead behind the couch. Or you saw the dog die. You saw the dog get put down. And so your kid's just bawling his eyes out, man. He doesn't know how to deal with his emotions. He was lost someone he loves, and it was his dog. His cat. And, you think it's a cute, funny thing, and in a sense it is, but in fact, I'm preparing for myself for this, and the fact of the matter is, August 8th, 2026 will mark the 10-year anniversary of my mother's death. You gotta do something for her. It could be anything. It could be a statue or a bench or whatever you want it to be. Someone yelling over there. Alright, I guess that's my cue. We'll say the director's called cut. Love you. Love yourselves. Just remember, if you love different, respect it. Because you gotta go play football in the rain. It might not be as bad as the storm as you thought. Bye. Love you.